Hi crypto kings and queens, welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie. In today's episode I will just show you what I could believe market will do on Bitcoin and Ethereum. This doesn't have to happen. This is definitely just technical analysis that I'm using myself of. So I'm actually going to show you why I do believe that we can come back down to 24k or 25k and then reverse to the upside or potentially continue back down. But if we see huge momentum, this is definitely a target we can see market breaking, but we have to break 35,300 and 28,800 until we're reaching that level. It's always good to have a bigger picture on what can happen using technical analysis. Remember, I am no financial advisor. You need to look up everything yourself first, but please continue looking at this video and I'll show you exactly what I see long-term targets on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I just want to give you a quick update on the weekly chart and just see what I'm thinking about. So I'm gonna drag a trend line with the help of this weekly or the push that we did have to the upside, and I want to use it to this next low that we're having. And I want to have this trend line in case we're coming back down even more. I know that I'm going to look at this one. I know it's pretty far away and I know this is going to scare a lot of people, but this is only if I'm looking at from the aspects as from the technical side. So if we now see the market coming back down to this level, maybe around 24,500, 400, that could actually be the push that we're having and then breaking to the upside, because at that point we will respect this trend line. This is only if we start continuing seeing the market breaking to the downside, because the overall picture we also can see that Bitcoin gave us a head and shoulders right here, and we did have the neckline, the support, whatever you want to call it. You saw the break of the support, you saw the retest, now market continues back down. So for us to come back down to this previous trend line that we're having, I mean, it does kind of make sense if we're doing that. Market then breaks to the upside, because the overall picture, we are in a uptrend. We can also see that on the higher time frames, we never had the power to break this resistance that we didn't have around 58,800. We just saw the market breaking it, create a new all-time high, then market continues back down. We are right now also at this previous higher low that we do have on the monthly chart also. So we just might come back down to these levels. I'm also going to use the end of the wick right here, because the market is trading between levels. So I do have one level here at 35,500 and at the low that we're having around 28,700. And if we're coming back down to that level with some momentum, by just putting the lines on the chart, it actually makes sense if you just see a wick to the downside and then market continues back up. So this is just something that I'm thinking about maybe can happen, but that is only because we're basing it off the technical side of Bitcoin. Nothing more. We don't have to go down to the lower time frames. I just want to show you my perspective on what can happen and how I am reading the charts. But we can definitely come back down to this last previous support also, and then we're seeing the push from the support, and then we just might break this trend line. But because if we see the market breaking the trend line on the higher time frames, that's actually when we are breaking the downtrend that we're having. And in that case, if we're breaking the trend line, that's the sign that we're breaking to the upside. But as long as we're below the trend line, or if we see the market trying to break it, but then market comes inside of the trend line, this trend line is still valid. The only thing that I will do is change my resistance trend line. So if the market the next time bounces to the upside, I can take help of that trend line that we can see, and also combine with support and resistance levels, Fibonacci, different tools. But this is definitely something that I mean, if we're basing off usually how market is moving, that is basically it. But when you're going to the lower time frames, obviously a lot of things will happen. Maybe we just have a huge wick to the downside and freak everyone out, and then market closes inside, market goes up. So, but this is just potential what I see, and I mean, this doesn't have to happen obviously, but I just want to give you my perspective if we now see market on Bitcoin continuing even more down. And obviously if we're looking at Ethereum, we're having the same scenario right here. It's pretty far away and we need to break this level. So we're having two levels before we're coming back down to this level right here, or we actually do have three. targets where the market needs to break. So we're having at Ethereum 2,300 to 1,871 and 1,300, 400. If we're seeing the market coming up, maybe we're respecting this support that we're having. But I mean, just following how market is moving, we're going straight down. Obviously, we need to go up. I don't believe that we will have the Irish candlestick just down this chart. I do not believe that will happen. We will see a reverse to the upside. So many things can happen, but as long as we're below this trend line that we're having, we are still in a downtrend, even if we see the market breaking to the upside. That's why we're using the technical side. We're using the tools to see, okay, for us to be in an uptrend, we need to break certain levels. And until then, I can just go into the lower time frames and see what's happening. But the overall picture, we need to break certain levels. If you didn't know, we are having a website on Bitcoinsensus. You can go into bitcoinsensus.com and you will have daily updates about cryptocurrencies through our website. Remember that you can also receive a bonus on Bybit up to $4,100 if you're using the link in the description down below this video. And with that, you're also supporting Bitcoinsensus, so we are able to give you what we see on the charts. Thank you so much, guys, for looking at this video together with me. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications so you always have a notification when I am having my live stream or when I'm having my daily update about cryptocurrencies. Until then, I wish you all the best and we'll see each other tomorrow. From Sweden.